Dear listeners, welcome to Out of Office. So welcome dear listeners to the LTS podcast brought to you by us, featuring Alan and myself. Alan, please introduce yourself.
What's going on, everyone? Glad to be back. Marcos, thank you once more for this awesome conversation that we're about to have.
Amen. I don't know why I said that, but anyways. So this past week it's been busy, but it's been exciting. And unfortunately, with what we've been hearing with the thing you shared me, with the submarine guy, accompanying submersible.
Yeah, bro, that was bananas.
Obviously, there nothing ventured, nothing gained on their side, and
there was literally nothing ventured and everything lost.
There you go.
Unfortunately.
But then, what really made me feel sad, or what do you mean, put me off, I guess, was the comment section on social media. What they were saying, the reaction, if you will, it's everyone was feeling hurt, venting their political views, I guess. Or what is that? Emotional views?
I don't know, bro. To be quite honest, I think the only thing I remember listening about people being butthurt about something was the fact that they didn't understand why the Coast Guard weren't doing their investigation as quickly as possible, or something like that along those lines. And I thought to myself, listening to other sources that that the owner of the actual submersible had a waiver that you had to sign off on before you even entered, where it mentioned you potentially dying in 3 parts of the actual waiver. So I mean, all these people knew, to a certain degree, I would assume, because of the contract that the waiver they had to sign, that there was a big possibility that they could have died. And unfortunately, they did. And I think the Coast Guard also, and I want to say it's maybe 3 points of view I heard in and around the interwebs about what this might entail, or what it's all really about, and why it took them so long to kind of, share the unfortunate news, not only to the family members of the departed, but also to the public at large. And so I think it was Sunday that they lost communication for about 8 hours. And then after those 8 hours, the team that was still above the ocean, on top of the ocean, signaled that they needed help because they lost contact with the submersible. So by that point, it's been 8 hours. They only had enough oxygen to last them for about 2 more days, or four in total, right? But I think at that point, they were already they already had consumed 8 hours of it. So, I mean, to be honest, when I heard all the hubbub, they only had 2 more days left of oxygen, and they were about to run out. So by the time the Coast Guard and everybody else, all hands on deck, I mean,
emergency services,
right, went through the motions of helping them out and trying to get them, or find them first of all, and then figure out a way to get them back on top to the surface. Unfortunately, the clock ran out and they were out of oxygen. So people were I want to say hoping that they had passed out, and because when people pass out, they tend to consume less oxygen, so they're not as panicked, they're not moving as much. I mean, mind you,
stop moving.
The submersible, it was the size of a minivan, it was said, and there was really no room to move in there, especially with 5 human beings in there. Good lord,
adults. Yeah.
So even if they had passed out because of the lack of oxygen, it didn't help. It wouldn't have helped very much. And again, this is me speculating on that because it's like you have a minivan sized amount of oxygen with whatever extra tanks they had down there, right? So, and it seems like, now I could be totally wrong, but from the sources that I was watching on the news and stuff like that, and on the interwebs, it was led to believe that the Coast Guards had already known by that same Sunday that the submersible had imploded, and they kind of dragged on the quote unquote
they can't just say, "Oh, it exploded. Don't search, guys. Let's go. It's dead."
Well,
I'm like, we gotta confirm it.
No, you're right. But I think what people wanted to lead others to believe was that there was another reason behind or why they didn't say anything until, what was it, like yesterday? I think it was,
as of
right?
the recording, Friday, as of this recording.
Right. So they waited so long. Why they waited so long to tell everybody, since they knew that Sunday something had imploded? The reason they knew, or again, because I think one of the people that was speaking up or speaking out to a certain degree was the director of the movie Titanic. I think his name is James Cameron, if I'm not mistaken. And again, don't quote me on this. I'm just trying to go off of what I remember. Had said that he has friends that are in, the Coast Guarding, Marine, Navy operations, that kind of gave him the tip of, since Sunday, they have very specialized equipment in the Atlantic Ocean that basically is capable of listening and retrieving frequencies of any motion in the ocean per se. So they knew that something had imploded on Sunday.
Because they also listen to even glaciers in there.
Right. So they have highly specialized equipment out in the Atlantic Ocean, and one of the reasons why they have it is because the U.S. is very paranoid to a certain extent about
other stuff. Yeah,
other things like potential enemy,
other stuff.
Enemy countries invading their waters closer to home. So this is the reason why they have submarines. They have ultra sophisticated equipment that kind of reads the ocean and the motion in the ocean per se. And because this director James Cameron has
tip, if you will,
has those friends and kind of tipped them off. They basically knew on Sunday during the 8 hours of that that lack of communication that something had imploded, and it was most likely the submersible. So they kind of led the public to believe, and the families apparently to believe, that there was still hope when there was really no hope whatsoever. And again, don't beat me up about this. This is from what I could understand and what I heard from sources like James Cameron and the what was it? The Coast Guard, when they did their official announcement, that they said that there was still more investigation to be done, but apparently they had already known something had happened to them, and that 160 feet away from the hull of the Titanic, where there was no debris, they found the cone shape.
Oh, like a crash site.
Yeah, basically. Where the remains of the submersible were located. So they were apparently going to go do more investigation, but apparently, that's what happened. Now, from there's three apparent reasons why the information was withheld for such a long time during these like 4 some odd days that they were quote unquote investigating. And the first one is, I believe, to kind of misdirect the public about other information coming out from other things that had nothing to do with the submersible. So one being
obfuscate, if you will.
yes, absolutely. So one of these things that came to light during this event of the submersible was the fact that there was information from a leaker.
Damn, leaky ships, leaky secrets. Come on.
Yeah, loose lips sink ships, basically.
There you go. Dang it.
Sorry for the puns.
No, but it's apropos. It's apropos.
So one of the reasons people were speculating that the information was withheld for such a long time was because of the information coming out that Hunter Biden, the president of the United States' son, had a text message leaked to the media that he was texting a billionaire. I forgot the billionaire or the millionaire's name, from a company out in China asking for his money. Insert Brian from Family Guy, or no, I'm sorry, Stewie from Family Guy saying to Brian, "Where's my money? Where's my money?"
Oh no, the way that ends is no bueno.
So basically, he was threatening this Chinese gentleman, extorting him and for money. And in the message, he basically says, "Yeah, my dad's right. The man's right here next to me. My dad's right here next to me," or something along those lines. And if you don't get our money to us, I don't know what's going on, but if you don't get our money to us, my dad's gonna have to do something that will impede the safety or the whatever benefits he was having because of Joe Biden's influence.
I thought it was Hunter.
Well, Hunter was the mouthpiece, basically.
Yeah.
But he kind of, in this message, made it seem like it was not only him, but his dad and other, well, in this case, his dad and him that were basically threatening him or this person for money or whatever case is. And in a court of law...
Yeah, like blackmailed, yeah.
Yeah, in the court of law, that would kind of imply that he was in on it, which on record, the president had already said, "No, I have no involvement in whatever business my son does, nationally or internationally." And
mind you, this is the same son that got is in jail for dodging taxes and for having an illegal weapon in possession, right? I think.
I think that's just like that's just like the tip of the iceberg. Like videos have come out. What's on the books,
if you will?
Right. No. There's more to it, because I will remember everyone about the laptop information that came out on him. Like, he left his laptop at some place to get it repaired. The person tried to contact him about, okay, it's repaired, you can go come and pick it up. Hunter never went and picked it up. So at a certain point, that laptop becomes the ownership of the owner of the store, the You Break I Fix that he left it at. And again, not the company, just to say something. The repair shop that he took it to had it, and basically was able to look in the files of that laptop, and it came out with a bunch of information,
bank accounts, probably logins,
videos about Hunter smoking crack and having drugs on him, and having all sorts of wild, and having sex with prostitutes and stuff like that.
He was part of, like, if you will, it sounds like he was just fulfilling his fantasies, if you will.
Well, again, this is very, I guess you can say, a very biased type of situation, where had it been some other political parties, representative's son, they would have, asked for the execution of said individual.
What do you mean? Yeah.
And just to make it clear, like, had it been Trump and his son, no question, the media would have been after him. They wouldn't have tried to cover this up like they've tried so hard to help and misdirect people's attention about such situations that Hunter has gotten himself into and his dad potentially into with all these wrongdoings. So again, you see the bias.
This is theory one. This is
just theory one.
Yeah.
They were, because of this new information from the text message to this millionaire, billionaire oligarch from China, and the implications is that Joe Biden does know, and has been
in the know.
Yeah, no, not only in the know, but part of the business of basically getting money in illegal manners because of the position that he held when he was a vice president, and also now that he's a president. So
yeah, this is theory one, though.
This is just theory one.
Yeah.
The second one was about what's happening abroad in other countries. It so happens that it seems like a Russian I don't know if it's ex-military or part of the military that wants to do a coup d'etat, if you will.
Oh no, really?
From the
musician guy.
No, again, I don't know if he's a musician, but I know he's a military guy.
It's called Wagner.
I don't know if it's Wagner, bro. But the point is that they've been getting information from sources that some really weird things that are going out in Moscow, I believe. And it is said that they had placed President Putin into a train, and him and his family, and left to an undisclosed area to be protected because of this coup d'etat that might potentially be happening. And this certain individual, again, I don't remember his name, but he's been known to be a very, very hardcore individual that is willing to actually go through the motions of detonating atomic weapons to the West, because that's just the type of guy he is, and there is no such thing as negotiations for him. So that's another thing that this potential submersible, and again, other things that have been going on, just to name a few, how the rules in Canada have been changing to the left on a scale of wokeness that has people spinning where they in Canada, where a lot of people are fleeing to a certain degree Canada to get away from these very totalitarian rules that have been going about. And another one that I was witnessing from a different source was, I believe it was Australia, if I'm not mistaken, or New Zealand. No, this is just still on 2 because of I guess the misdirection happening because of this submersible and other things going around in the world, would also be that apparently, and again, I don't remember quite well. I have to revisit the places I was listening to and reading these things. Basically, I forgot if it was Australia or New Zealand, one of the two, is changing their laws, their taxation laws, where no matter what part of the world you're in, if you used to be a citizen of said country, you're still going to have to pay the taxes from that country, even though you left. So you can't get away from their tax system.
Can't dodge taxes. Damn.
Yeah. So even if you were to become a citizen of, I don't know, Singapore or whatever the case is, where it's very favorable for people to do business there because pretty much the tax system is in the favor of the people that are creating jobs. I forgot the word. The capitalist that's creating jobs and companies and stuff of this nature is the reason why a lot of people go to these places like a Singapore. And it's very favorable for these people if you're able to have a business that doesn't require you to be in a country where you're taxed out of everything that you own. You get taxed on your taxes.
You get taxes on the taxes on taxes.
Exactly. So Australia is making it even, or New Zealand, I forgot again, but I'm pretty sure I remember it was Australia, which
down under country.
Yes. So even if you were to leave that country and go somewhere else, you're still going to be followed and required to pay taxes of that country, whether you're in that country or not. That is some BS, bro. Okay, so that's just theory 2, right? With all these other things going around the world.
2 or 3, yeah.
And again, this is just
speculation.
Highlights. No, not speculation. This is highlights of things that are actually going on around the world. These are just the highlights. There's many more things going on around the world that we have less information about, but is going on, and it is bananas at the moment. And not to fearmonger, I'm just saying these are just highlights. It might potentially get better, it might potentially get worse, but as of right now, this is pretty crazy. All right, so the third one is, and now this is more on the fringe.
Question, shouldn't it be like number 4, because technically the thing with Russia and Australia are mutually exclusive?
Yeah, no, of course they're exclusive. But the only reason I would say that it's part of a misdirection is because never let a good problem or never let a problem or a good problem, a situation of this caliber go to waste is what I'm trying to say. And that's what usually, I guess, news outlets or media outlets tend to do, or even governments use these type of situations to kind of like cover their tracks, right? So this is the only reason I'm putting this is the only reason why I'm putting it out on the table, because you wouldn't have probably heard about these things unless they were a bigger deal. And not to say that the submersible wasn't a big deal, but compared to all these other things happening, it affects a lot more people than you think in many ways. And that's the only reason I say this is a level 2 on a grander scale. Yeah, I think the Russia situation is a lot worse. I mean, I can mention the thing about China right now where it's opening. So China's practically opening back up from their COVID situation, but because they've been locked down for so long, the open up feels more like a trickle. And it's becoming very difficult to reopen and reassess and reinstate a lot of the things that back to normal, basically. Sure. And because of this situation, there might be an influx or apparent influx of money, not only going into China but coming out of China. So it's a very peculiar thing to see, where you don't know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing as far as the economy goes, right? So, and I think we spoke about this last time with the countries that want to get off the dollar reserve currency,
the BRICS team,
right? So, it's kind of difficult to. I mean, people have kind of calmed down about it because.
South Africa's going pretty bad right now.
Yeah, because
Brazil.
Because in order for them, like again, and I would refer people to listen to 2 people that I listen to on this very information, this very exact type of information and observation would be Brent Johnson. He's the guy that is credited for the milkshake theory, and also George Gammon. Which recently George Gammon was on the Valuetainment podcast, and he broke down a lot of this information down for people, and very, very interesting, very well thought and well presented. Same thing with Brent Johnson. He does a very good job showing you or explaining to you why he thinks that the dollar is going to rise compared to all the other currencies, other fiat currencies, but he also ties in how gold is tied into this, and how we have to understand that even though people don't want to use the dollar, the system was made so that it's just easier to work in dollars instead of other fiat currencies, because you have to go through the buying and selling of commodities and other things
Services,
through dollars. Yeah, services through dollars is just a lot easier, a lot quicker, and the infrastructure was made for the dollar, not so much other currencies. Even if you have oil, you still have to convert that to other things. Or if you use natural gas, you still have to convert that to another thing. And maybe you could say, I'll give you beans for corn, or I give you gas for oil, but you still, if you want to break it down even more in order for it to be usable, you have to go through, quote unquote, the dollar in order for you to go through. And again, Brent Johnson does a fabulous job. George Gammon does another person does a fantastic job of breaking these type of concepts and information down, so you understand and know why these things are the way they are. And like Brent Johnson says, it's not that he's happy with it, it's just the way it is at the moment. And if the economy kind of like basically breaks or is kind of like, busts, it would seem to him, because everything is in dollar denominations, like people owe other people not in their currency but in American dollar currencies, it would seem to him that everyone will feel the hurt before the US feels the hurt, because everybody owes the US because they borrow in dollars. They don't borrow in whatever currency that they have in their countries. So
meanwhile, like BRICS, like what have they agreed to have, like a BRICS dollar, or is it going to be like a?
Well, again, up till now, it seems to be that they trade commodities. So again, gas for oil or corn for bread or whatever the case is, right? So, and again, this
trade, yeah.
Right. So this is very simplistic. I'm not doing it justice to explaining it. Again, I would refer people to go watch these two gentlemen break it down. They do a really good job in breaking it down and giving you that type of information. I'm just going off of for what I remember. So, those are the things that I would look into, because I would say people are going to see a lot of kind of like a mini boom, like the stock market going up and things of this nature, because people are kind of being a little bit greedy, because they see that money's moving a little bit right now for whatever reason. Two other things before I get to the third. Actually, let me get to the third part, and then remind me to explain the other two pieces of information that I was listening to. One about Mexico and one about what's it called? The forecast, I guess you can say, right?
Okay.
Just remind me about those two. All right. So I want to say the third speculation. Now, this one is speculation on some people on the more fringe side of the aisle about the submersible, is that the people on the submersible are alive, apparently. This is the third take. All right. This more fringe that the maybe super black ops operatives got them, are in a hold of these individuals, and they're keeping them for undisclosed reasons. And that's about as far as I want to explain about it, because I have no clue what other things this fringe type of scenario entails or would begin to entail. Why? I have no idea.
Yoinked them out of the submersible and just detonated the submersible, if you will.
Who's to know if the reason the fringe people or conspiracy theorist people think that this might be an option or a point of view is because they figure, well, who's going to go down all the way 2+ miles underneath the sea to see if what we're saying is true or not? Who has the equipment to do that and confirm or deny what we're telling them? So this is part of the speculation. Yeah, so this is part of the speculation one side of the coin. The other side of the coin, I guess the even more French would say aliens. But I don't even want to touch that because that to me seems a little silly. More silly than the actual what they speculate about a government entity from somewhere from whatever country has I mean, for all we know, it could, like, people think that it might be the US or something, right? Or a country. But again, in order for them to do it and why they did it, that's a whole other conversation in itself. And I don't want to really go down that rabbit hole, but I just clearly want to put it out there because that's other.
It's an option. Yeah,
it's an option that people have in their mind of, you know, that's the reason why they're not located. Yeah, they haven't been located or whatever the case is, right? All right, so those are the three that I put on the table. Take it as you will, and definitely leave in the comment section your thoughts, your ideas, what you feel about this, or what you think about it, or any new information that you've gathered about this situation. Now, going on to my second, other 2 points that I wanted to highlight tonight. The first one being a little bit more about Mexico and the Tesla, what's it called? Super mega whatever facility that they're constructing. Yes. So basically, and I think I sent you a video about this, if I'm not mistaken, on the group chat. So it seems to be that this will be the biggest Tesla factory to date, like the biggest
on
one
this continent.
No, not only on this continent. Like I said, to date, it's bigger than the one in China, bigger than the one in Germany, bigger than the ones in the US. It's just like the cat's meow, I guess you can say. As far as the Tesla factory is, the Gigafactory. So this Gigafactory not only will be producing or mass producing Teslas, they'll be producing mass producing Teslas for south of the border, what's it called, countries. So Mexico, Central and South American countries will be getting these type of Teslas, and I believe also in maybe some Southeast Asian countries will be getting these Teslas that are being manufactured from Mexico, which means a whole lot of hands need to come to for manufacturing and constructions for these cars. So it seems to be like a very big money mover. And again, this also ties into the lithium vein that they found in Mexico, which will basically not only be mined, but will be made into batteries in Mexico and then slapped onto Teslas. Teslas will be made, Teslas will be sold, and they will be shipped to countries where they would like smaller EV cars that are Tesla cars or Tesla vehicles. So
branding,
this is yeah, well, you know that a lot of countries like Japan, like parts of Europe, they tend to like smaller cars compared to the US.
Yeah, because of the roads, yeah.
Right. For the most part, a lot of US roads are very, adapted or well adapted for bigger cars, or accommodated for bigger cars, trucks, semis, right? So over here, the top selling cars are pickup trucks.
Yes, sir.
Where other parts in the world are 2-door, little, small, very narrow type of little cars, because the roads are a lot smaller, a lot more narrower in other countries, and it just makes a lot more sense to ride around in a small car. So this is the reason, and even down in countries like Mexico, countries in Central and South America, they tend to have or use smaller cars just because of the infrastructure of the roads out down there. So this is potentially a a move on Elon's part
to slide into the demand.
Yeah. He's gonna fulfill and make them cheaper, be able to mass produce them, and have almost everything without buying or importing anything from any other country. Everything's in Mexico. The what's it called? The manufacturing power, the raw materials,
yes,
and the actual, I guess you can say, the infrastructure of getting things from point A to point B, because of the Mexican president having trains and roads built out there, bridges built. They'll be able to move things a lot more quickly and a lot more safely in order for commerce to be a lot more attainable down in Mexico. So this is a big plus and something not a lot of people have been talking about, and I think it's something to look out for as part of the nearshoring type of scenario. If people are heavy into investing, it might be something people might want to look into, especially if you're thinking of moving down there and try to be a digital nomad, or investing in companies they're going to gain a lot from nearshoring, whether it be factories being built. So I would say like cement, or trains like Canadian Pacific, or even, I guess you could say, real estate, right? So any company or any stock or ETF that has real estate that pertains to renting out buildings to companies that are doing nearshoring in Mexico, it might be a good move in order for you to get really, really good dividends, not only in the short term but in long term. So that's the first one. All right. So the second one, this is information I got from yes, the Dumb Money crew, Dumb Money. So
hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, no, definitely not. But Dumb Money Live. So I was watching two of their videos, more recent videos. The first one that Chris Camillo, who is one of the hosts for the show, was explaining his thesis behind why he's going heavy on the ticker symbol. I think it's CORX. But basically the company is Crocs. You know them. You maybe not like them too much.
Hate them. Yeah.
But they're becoming a staple to a certain extent. So I want to say, like, I think a year ago or about a year ago, they bought the company Hey Dudes.
Crocs?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
So they have not only the ugly Croc, but they have also Hey Dudes, and I want to say they have another company. I forgot what they were explaining, but for the most part, they have these two shoes, and they've been very aggressive in being number one as far as like Amazon or Google searched and purchased type of information, where you're able to arbitrage the actual companies when doing buying or selling, or putting puts on stocks. So the thesis on the first video that I was watching was that they were heavy into Croc because they potentially, it's been a hit out in South Korea, and potentially it's going to start growing by the looks of it in China, because it's starting to open up. And I think they were mentioning how in South Korea they have, I want to say, 20 stores for a small country the size of South Korea. Like they are selling out of these, or doing really great in profits with selling Crocs. And they were showing some models that became very TikTok famous as of recent. They're like these
social
chunky
media,
these chunky ass sandals that you can dress up or dress down for not only female but I believe also males. And it's catching like wildfire. And apparently this is so amazing. Yes, they're so amazing that as far as sales go, that they've been implementing or putting new spins on the ugly shoe or this ugly Croc, right? So they're making them into boots, like cowboy boots.
Rubber cowboy boots.
Again, again,
it's a niche taste, man.
Hey, they also mentioned that when in and around the time that they bought Hey Dudes, like about last year or so, they also bought out a homegrown company.
What's Hey Dudes?
Hey Dudes are shoes for, I guess,
dudes.
For, I want to say, maybe late 30s, 40s, 50s gentlemen that in that demographic that want to have comfortable shoes that look decent enough that you can kind of like dress up a little bit for like a more like, I guess, casual look. Yeah. But you can put a polo on and go to the golf course and whatnot.
Yes.
And be super comfy. So those are the Hey Dudes. So, but Crocs also bought out a homegrown business from, I believe, a lady and her daughter, or I don't quite remember the full story, but it was a homegrown company, where they were making charms, the charms that you place onto the Crocs.
Yes.
So that was an individual that started that because her daughter and her friends wanted to place little charms onto the Crocs to make it more unique and individual, and this is mine. And Crocs loved the idea. They loved it so much that they bought the company off of them. And now
accessories, if you will.
Right. According to their last conference call or their sales call, that makes quite a bit of money for them. In a good way, like they're making bank off of that. So whatever they paid that family or that person to buy it off of them, I just hope that they at least get a 1% residual for their idea.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, if they did, that's great for them. If they didn't, well, better luck next time, I guess. But it's amazing the amount of strides that they made and money they're making because of it. Now, going back to their opening up back in China, it seems that because of this opening and the love that they have for Crocs in South Korea, they're hoping and speculating based on whatever information they have, some sort of formula that they have, that it's going to be the same thing out in China, and that they're going to also have a nice little boom out in China because of Crocs. It's very affordable, inexpensive to make, and the price point is just right for people to buy, a couple of pairs and be able to use them, wear them out, and then get new ones. So apparently that this is the reason why Chris, at least, bought into Crocs heavy to see. Yeah. So that's one. All right. So the second one, from a second video, one of his more recent.
The forecast?
Yeah, the forecast.
Okay.
So he's been studying patterns and trends from the weather based on why things are happening the way they're happening. It's been an unusually warm summer as of right now,
and that's a beginning.
And the reason he's saying that it's kind of weird. All three gentlemen, Dave, Chris, and Jordan, all three of them basically have confirmed that down south there have been like about 3 tornadoes that have been out of the blue, not the season for them, and this is because of it's coming out of La Niña to El Niño. But the twist here, the way he was explaining it, is that the I guess you could say the play here would be Generac, the generator company, where you could potentially invest in that company, and because of the outages, people are going to want to buy generators, because they're out of electricity at their homes. They have a power outage. They need a generator to keep their refrigerator running, their AC running,
Was
the
this
lights
for
on.
Texas only, or was this for all of the wherever the company?
Southeast of
Southeast?
the country. But the way he was explaining it, it's been unusually warm out in the Pacific Ocean, and now he's speculating because of that, the El Nino thing is kind of like not a misnomer, but a misdirection of the actual weather. Where,
on what grounds?
Yeah, so where it might potentially be more of I think he was talking about I want to say they mentioned the roofing company.
Huh?
A roofing company, yes, because
it's in the ocean. A roofing company.
Because of the potential of a hurricane, it'll be a lot more extensive damage, not just Generac or generators, but also roofs.
Huh?
So you can potentially invest in roofing companies
Oh, okay.
that will probably be the play for this. And I think there was another play that they were talking about, but it's very interesting the way the way Chris broke it down about the weather.
So what he's observing on the weather is what he's thinking people should invest on, like generators,
and then confirming this with the weatherman from different stations, because when you have a thesis, you have to kind of get into the thick of it with all the information you're able to get, as far as not only weather, but like maybe an almanac or even the weather in other countries, to see how you can piece this together.
Did he say thesis specifically?
Yeah, he calls it a thesis. When he goes heavy on a company, he has to make a thesis and do the homework in order for him to be fully on board to investing, upward of $100,000 in each of these companies.
Yeah, his method of operating, if you will.
Right. So this is why he calls it a thesis, because he invests the time and energy and mental capacity
his business
for him to come out. Yeah, because this is basically how he makes money on investments, on social arbitrage.
Social, gathering data from everywhere else. Yeah.
Well, because social arbitrage is the reason you would know that there's a potential buy from that, is because a lot of people are either talking about it or buying it. That's why it's social. Before it even hits the records on people's credit cards, because you can look up trends on credit cards of what people purchase.
People pay for that. Yeah.
Right. But if you're able to look at Google Trends, and you can just go on a tab and go to Google Trends and see, and like type in random things on the Google Trends and see what pops up. And if you can find a sort of like streak, you can probably ride that wave and see if there's any potential way of buying something that potentially benefits from that social trend that's going on, whether it be something people are buying or advertising on TikTok that's becoming a wave, like Crocs.
Crocs, yes sir.
Or maybe potential
weather
needs
patterns
of people. Needs of people, like a generator or roofing or something of that nature. Definitely. There are a lot of things that you can infer from trends, social arbitrage it, and make a killing on it.
So like he's copywriting that style, because no, it didn't exist. What does in Google, what does arbitrage mean?
According to Wikipedia, in economics and finance, arbitrage is the practice of taking advantage of a difference in prices in two or more markets, striking a combination of matching deals to capitalize on the difference, the profit being the difference between the market prices at which the unit is traded.
No, but he's using the social media and like that's his main source of data, and inferring, like you said, from what's being popular and observing weather patterns, economics, to make him educated investments with his money, and more power to him in that sense.
Right. Not only that, but he also goes out of his way to go to the actual stores. Like, say he'll go to I think one of his purchases I think 2 years ago or so was the company that sells, I want to say some sort of, I forgot what it was. I think it was like beer, right? So he goes to the stores and sees what beers or liquor was selling, right? Because of it's the first summer from getting out of the pandemic.
This in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Understood.
So I think the ticker symbol was Molson Coors.
Okay.
So Molson Coors provides or sells alcohol not only in the U.S. but also in Europe. So the distributor, and one of his big pieces to the thesis behind Molson Coors was that Topo Chico was coming out with a hard cider, a hard seltzer.
Hard cider.
Hard seltzer. So he was basically banking on that, and it didn't pan out the way he wanted, unfortunately. So, but there was still something there. So, 2 years later, I think they mentioned it again in the same, the same video where they were talking either about Crocs or the weather. They mentioned it again because people like to touch base and keep in touch about that sort of information, because it might be that they caught on to the trend a little too early, and sometimes we might catch it a little too late, but you would hope that you catch it early enough where you can ride the wave to make profit off of that arbitrage that you're going. So he goes out of his way. I think one of the other times that he went to stores was, I think, to either the store, to the Home Depot, Lowe's, and all these other stores to look at these Generacs or generators and how they were selling. Like people coming from different states and buying, like calling up sales reps from certain companies and asking them a bunch of questions about sales and how it's looking and what's it looking like for other states, and just doing all these other stuff to try to get a better understanding and a better grasp of the information in its totality to make these social arbitrage plays. And that's how he does it.
Low key, same way of him making a video also kind of booms up props up his investment as well. You know that, right?
Well, the thing is that he doesn't mention his sales before the actual buy. He buys it himself first
and then posts the video. Obviously, he has to.
And then he sells the stuff. Before or after he sells, and he doesn't really do anything. He doesn't have the same following that would be considered like a whale type of a move.
Not like the Reddit one, right? The GameStop guy.
Right. The difference with Chris and the Dumb Money team is that they have a lot of the information also that they garner or get are from people that are on their Discord, and basically, I see this trend going on here, or I see a trend, and this is the reason why it's totally different from what you see on Reddit, because they're arbitraging trends that are happening in real time. They're not trying to make a trend for themselves. That's the whole premise. That's the whole difference between what the Dumb Money team does and what Reddit does, where one is a pump and dump, but the other one is actual arbitrage. So that's, I guess you can say, that's the difference you can visibly see, where it's not a pump and dump with them, because it's like, if it pans out, great. If it doesn't, well, that's the risk of stocks, because Chris lost a lot of money when it didn't pan out for him when he did the Molson Coors one. So it goes to show you that it's not a pump and dump, because he actually loses money too. But
as a content creator, you can tell what his content is, his formula is too. That's his business, if you will, to do that.
No,
as a
it's
content,
not.
The content of the YouTube channel, not his
even
personal business.
No, not even. Because all three of them have opened up a fund from the beginning, that all the money that is ever generated from the actual YouTube channel goes to a charity for I forgot, it was a children's charity that for for kids that have some sort of disease. I forgot the disease. So they don't touch any money from the actual YouTube videos that they make the channel. They only use their money that they make from the arbitrage that they do. So they're on the up and up. So that's why I actually watch them, because they're on the up and up about how they go about their business. It's not only just like saying, oh, we think this. No, we think this because of the trends that are going on, and we put money down. That's our money. We don't ask you to give us money.
No, they don't. Yeah, no, they don't. Yeah, that's the big
So this is what makes it a lot more, I think, a lot more authentic and a lot more enjoyable, because they're actually investing with their own money, and they put their money where their mouth is, and they're not asking people for money. And the money from the actual YouTube channel goes to this charity for kids with this sort of disease. I forgot disease. I totally forgot. But yeah. Those are the information or the highlights, I guess, that I could remember. Also, shout out to Grimace from McDonald's. Happy birthday to him. That Grimace meal from McDonald's is pretty dope. I tasted it. It was all right.
Okay.
Just switching up topics a little bit.
No, the other one that I want to do is the Microsoft one.
Which one? The one that you sent?
Yeah.
What do you think about that, bro?
Yo.
Because I just bought a couple of Microsoft things today.
What? Hey, whoa.
Yeah.
Elaborate. What happened?
Oh, nothing crazy. Just like a Bluetooth keyboard and a Bluetooth mouse.
Okay.
So I can connect to my cell phone. So I can use Dex on my TV.
Okay. And a keyboard and a what?
And a mouse and a Bluetooth mouse. They're both Bluetooth.
Okay. But Microsoft was like in Congress. This past week.
Yeah, interesting that. Yeah, they're doing it. They're trying to buy, or they already had intentions of buying Activision Blizzard. And like I think we mentioned it before. It was like, yeah, if everything pans out, well, good for them. But if it doesn't, like, it's still good for people,
for the market
all around. Yeah, someone's making money.
Someone's taking that bag.
Yeah, someone is grabbing that bag, bro. Most definitely. But what are your thoughts about that, bro?
It's getting better, but at the same time, it's not the best thing, in the sense that it's diluting the market of whatever IPs that are out there. For example,
competition.
Like Apple.
Well, no, I wouldn't say Apple. I would say more about like the independent companies that produce games.
Like Nintendo. Didn't Nintendo technically sign a contract with Apple technically for their game store, for their game shop and all those things for a while, like with Apple, whatever you get for the TV and all those things, what Apple Plus, Apple something like that. I forgot the name of it. But and then like Samsung with Windows, they're getting a collaboration, but they didn't outright buy the company of Samsung, or vice versa. Neither did Nintendo. But I'm down for collaborations. But the whole, I'm a PC main. But at the same time, I do appreciate each company getting their own IP. If I'm like their own due. What's the word? Their due credits and opportunity for growth. Versus like, oh, this can be managed by Microsoft. These are the goals. I want them to be working together, but not under the same company, if you will. Not cashing the same check under the same company. Like, I can understand Microsoft; they were independent for a while, if you know what I mean. And then they got purchased by Microsoft. No shame in that. It's a singular game. And then what about like the TV company Vizio? Vizio got bought by Microsoft as well. And then GitHub is like it's GitHub. GitHub is like, I think, a website purchase where you can buy websites. I think they're under the domain of Microsoft as well. And there was another one, but again, I appreciate it, but at the same time, it's 50-50 in my heart, if you will. That's what I'm trying to say, that it's 50-50. I want them to succeed, but at the same time, I don't want them to be the only flavor in the market. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, the only game in the show.
I wouldn't be surprised if they try to purchase Asus, if you know what I mean, or what else? Asus.
I don't think they would do that though.
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think they would do that though. I think it was more of a calculated type of purchase because Activision Blizzard was going, down the tubes as far as like the way the company was being managed by whoever was in charge. And that was basically what the whole initial thinking behind the purchase was, because it was being mismanaged. Even though they had great IPs, they were being mismanaged. Yeah, it was being mismanaged to the extent of, I guess people came to the thought process of, was it even worth being purchased because of how mismanaged it was. So I think, and again, there are probably going to be some stipulations by the government where if they do buy, or they're able to actually completely buy Activision Blizzard, they might want to put some safeguards by either splitting up the company in some shape, way, or form, or they would have to be, I don't know, they would probably do some sort of like safeguards to make it, give them some sort of like some buffer in order for them that they wouldn't become too monopolistic with the purchase of it, right? So whatever.
Sony hopped in to that point.
Well, Sony is just looking out for itself like any other company would. And that makes sense, but
Sony snitched.
Well, no, because they're a competition, bro. You think they wouldn't want to buy other companies? It's and again,
they have.
Exactly. That's what I want to say. Like they are going to buy things that are convenient for them to make their company grow. Now, in order for us to think that Sony and Microsoft are exactly the same type of companies, no, they're not. They both make different things. Where Sony capitalizes a lot on manufacturing goods like TVs, cell phones, audio type of equipment and stuff like that, consoles. Microsoft does more on. They make most of their money on their Microsoft suite. So this is their suite. Their suite, as in Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, like all those.
Sony.
Microsoft, I said.
Okay.
Right. Microsoft makes most of their money on that type of cachet of their suite, where Sony makes more on manufacturing. So when they both go head to head with consoles, I want to say, speaking about consoles, right? Yeah. I think the more prized console is Sony PlayStation compared to Microsoft Xbox. I think a lot more people are more into their what's it called, the PlayStation instead of the Xbox. But that being said, I think a lot more people are more used to the Microsoft Xbox X Games type of what's it called, application, where you can play I think a lot more, or it's more accessible to people playing Xbox games on their PC, on their laptop, opposed to playing PlayStation, where they have exclusives that Xbox doesn't have. Right? So again, I think that, like any company, Sony wants to look out for itself, and there's no shame in that. I think what might happen again is the safeguards that might be placed or put on Microsoft in order for them to be able to purchase it. They're going to have some sort of like a hand tied behind their back in order for them to do it. But I think Microsoft would still be willing to do it just to garner a little bit more exclusives, for the market. And what's to say, like, at some point you're going to have Xbox on your cell phone, like you were saying, just opening up more people to having access to Xbox Microsoft Xbox on their cell phone, on their laptop, on their television, almost making like a what was it, Stadia? I think it was from Google.
For Google, yeah.
Right. So I think that's like the
As I look to my left.
like I think that's potentially that's the next step. And like you were mentioning before too, Apple wants to do something similar as well, where you're able to have everything in that ecosystem all in one place. I think there has been talks about Microsoft reopening their getting back into the cell phone creating game. They want to get back into that maybe, and it might help with the actual presentation or how they're gonna intertwine Xbox game into that console. Also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Amazon is revving up their engines again for making some sort of new, like, I don't know if they want to get into cell phones, but it might be potentially down the road they might want to get into cell phones. Seeing
Like an
that,
Oculus thing they have, though. Something about the augmented reality for glasses.
oh yeah.
They've been doing that right now recently.
Well, again, what company isn't getting into, or
Sony. Or
right.
Sony, probably.
like whether it be VR or being AI or a mix of both, or some sort of augmented reality. Like they're getting into that stage where they're trying to acquire as many things as they can that makes sense to them and makes sense for the company overall, for them to, I guess, organize it in such a way where they can make bank on it with whatever they put out, whether it be a console, games, and what type of exclusives they're able to get on said games, right? Because that's awesome that there's competition. What I would like to see is more competition from different companies, not just, yeah, go ahead, bro.
But at that point, I feel like Microsoft slept on the whole purchase of Crunchyroll and Funimation. If that's the point, if that's the case. You know what I mean? Of media, of that kind of content creation or service.
Well,
But at the same time, they don't have any toes in that market. So
I think that's a great point. I think, yeah, they slept on it, but I think that it was good that they slept on it. Where
it was good for Sony.
I would have hoped it wasn't Sony doing it. I would have hoped it would be another company like an Amazon, perhaps. But since Amazon does have High Dive, which is pretty good,
Have you tried
compared? Yeah, I've been
Both.
watching. What the hell did I watch on it? I was watching. I rewatched Gate on it just to see how it was,
Oh,
and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I'm not gonna say like compared to Crunchyroll. I think
it's not the same.
it's not the same, no, but I think they have certain things that are similar, and the few things that they have different, they're not something that are like so jaw-dropping that you would switch one over the other. I think Crunchyroll still has a bigger catalog than High Dive, but I think High Dive's catalog is still really good, and they have shows that are not on Crunchyroll, which makes you think.
Exclusives?
Well, exclusives more like Crunchyroll ran out of their contract to publish or air it on their catalog ran out, and they didn't renew. So it basically someone else stepped forward and paid for that and was able to put it on their catalog, which was High Dive. Same thing for Hulu. Like they have the exclusives for Bleach
Disney.
and stuff like that. Yeah. So the mouse had enough money for Bleach and potentially
Anime Mouse.
Yeah. So again, I would say that I think if there was another person to throw their hat in I guess the ring besides an Amazon, I would hope it would be. I don't think Facebook would probably be the right choice. I mean, you would think that because of the glasses, the augmented reality, you might think like, oh yeah, I will want to watch
My
anime.
Kirito with this sword right there in front of me.
I might want to watch anime on the Oculus, right? But or whatever their headset is called.
Yeah.
But I would probably be, and again, this is just shot in the dark, but I would probably not want, but I think it would be a good move on for Google to actually do it.
They don't have any content. Oh well, they have YouTube. What am I saying?
Right. So exactly. So I would think that if they had like an exclusive, I guess, like a page, like or a YouTube page where it's all like a little catalog, or not a little catalog, but like some sort of like landing page for anime only things.
Kyoto Animation, all those guys, right?
Right. So if
Google can slide into them directly,
and you can actually pay some sort of subscription to that said page, where
slide it in with the premium accounts.
Right. So like if you have that, and it kind of like you go on YouTube and you have a paid membership, you have access to this, I guess you can say, landing page inside of YouTube, where you're able to actually go through the catalog they have of anime, and they're able to monetize it in such a way different from how they monetize YouTube videos, where I guess you can say the companies for each of the individual shows are able to like put advertisements that they feel like should be like in and around their shows or their IPs. They're able to do something along those lines. That would probably be a big bolster for the profits of YouTube and Google in the long run. So because they already have infrastructure set up, it would be easy to just port a lot of the catalog from Kyoto Animation
or exclusive
or exclusives and they could probably even produce like a la Crunchyroll, and stuff like that. And because YouTube is a lot more accepted everywhere around the world,
literally
you can watch anime if you pay for a subscription of an anime catalog, like a landing page on it. And they would have to figure out how that would work, a landing page exclusively for anime only, Kyoto Animation, TV Tokyo, or something like that, right?
The one from Dragon Ball Z with the mouse and the cowboy.
Toei Animation.
Yeah, Toei. I'm
right.
surprised they're sleeping on this. Again,
I would want to get credit for that, and also get a check for that if Google ever listens to us. That would be awesome.
Hashtag listen to us, YouTube, listen to us, Google, listen to us.
I think they're really sleeping on it, because the amount of people would be able to now, it would almost be like also their way of competing against like a Netflix, like in
Microsoft,
Amazon Prime, Prime, Microsoft, Disney. Like they would be able to garner more attention like that. And isn't YouTube the number one website that people log into the world right now for videos? I think yes. Well, I think there's other things that are like more search. I think searches are bigger pull, or their money maker.
For content consumption.
For content consumption, I think it's big. Yeah, it's the biggest one. But again, I think that personally, it might be their second money maker. I think their first money maker is search. Yeah, because that's their bread and butter. But I mean, the competition is there now with Bing, with having AI. Now, I'm not saying it's better, or it's better in different ways, but there's competition. Same thing with Amazon search. When you search on the Amazon,
they have a search in. Oh.
Well, when you type stuff, I would consider that a search.
Yes, sir. Yep, number one. Want to hear number one?
Yes, I would like to hear number one.
Number one. Actually, I want to share my screen. Hold on.
Just tell me, so it doesn't do too much stuff. Google. I don't want you to. Google.com. Yep, that makes sense.
Pages views 8.78 per second, I guess. Per second every and the bounce rate 28.15%. Number two, YouTube.
Yep. Makes sense.
And this is per million per second.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So 8.78 millions every second, 11.57. What else? 21. Yeah. Number 3 is Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, social media. Baidu is the equivalent to Amazon, but international, brought to you by China. I think China.
Now,
Wikipedia is number 7.
that being said, bro, about Google having a landing page and I guess you can say some sort of catalog of anime, like exclusive way of monetizing on anime. I would surmise, or I would think that it would be also a good look that instead of people going onto like a movie theater maybe, or like they can compete, and also in this way, like have put out some money to have anime movie exclusives. Like instead of just it can air simultaneously, or even a day after in the theater, right? Like say the new One Piece movie is gonna come out. Well, say it comes out on a Thursday, right? The exclusive the movie theaters. But on Friday, you're also able to like see it on YouTube's anime movie section.
You see the website?
For a price. Yeah, for a price of like $3.99.
Yes, sir. I mean, or your subscription, or you can buy a ticket number.
Right. Like you can do like a ticket. You buy a ticket, like if you were going to movie theaters, instead of going to movie theaters, you can actually watch it on YouTube.
I'm not surprised about this. What do you think, Alan? Number 11, 12, and 13.
That's funny as hell, bro.
It makes sense. We're only human, right?
I think that's also
carnal pleasures.
I think that's more of a unfortunate thing because of people can't keep it in their pants.
And Amazon ends up losing. So by that sense, since where's the website? Since Baidu's a YouTube thing.
Yeah, but again, you would have to
take the thing.
Yeah, you would probably look at that. I mean, what's it called? The parameters are different for these type of things, and that's why it spits out these type of numbers on the scale. All right.
Yeah. So
it's not like, I mean, even on YouTube, you can watch racy things on YouTube compared to Amazon. So again,
yeah, I guess.
So, but moving away from that, like I'm trying to figure out something else. Like the second company that I would think that it would be a good move for them to do like a anime, even if it's per profile, right? So like say Toei Animation has a Twitter account, right? And on that Twitter account, they have
Musk. We're talking to you.
Yes. And Twitter,
he wants a Catgirl, so this helps you, Musk. This helps
so, like,
you.
say Toei has on its profile next to the tab that says media, it says you can go down a list of their number 1 shows, and you can go by season and watch it on Twitter. And in order for you to watch it on Twitter, you would have to pay a subscription,
not
just like
the Weeb
subscription, just like Musk was alluding to, or placing placing into what's it called, into the system, where instead of getting a blue check, you can pay for an actual exclusive with that particular company on its profile, and you're able to watch the catalog of their shows on Twitter for a price.
A ticket to entry, yeah. Print money already. Look at Twitter's like one of the top 20 on the world. So Musk is sleeping on this.
And I would think, why aren't our videos, or why isn't LTS on Twitter with their full audio catalog? That's my question, Marcos.
What do you mean?
We should do that, bro.
Does it allow you to phone like a live stream?
I remember what's his name, Tucker Carlson from Fox. After he left Fox, or after he got fired from Fox, he started his own show and was able to place it on Twitter.
Let's see.
So I would say if he can do it, why not us?
He's got a team. That's one.
Well, are we not a team, sir?
Let's see. What's his name? What's this guy?
Tucker Carlson. He used to work for Fox.
I don't see him here. What, like this? Tucker Carlson? No.
Carlson.
How do you spell it? Tuke or Tuck?
Tucker.
# Tucker Carlson. Oh, this guy. He's even blue.
Yeah.
Check mark.
Yeah. He has his own show now.
See, he's got highlights. Let's see, media.
Look how long his videos are. He just uploads them, bro.
18 minutes. Let's see. So there, and he's got this own thing right here. Let's see, promote tweets now. Okay. But yeah, there's some back end. Let's see. So that now I'm checking because it's 18 minutes. Note that.
No, of course, bro. I'm not saying anything that's I think out of our reach. I think we can definitely do something. I don't think in just 18 minutes. I'm pretty sure you can do a full on hour or more.
There. Video via the web. Use the compose box. Read button. Click the gallery. So there's no limit. Oh wait. Because there's no limit to it.
I mean, we can probably try it out.
I'm not against it. Yeah.
And bro, if that gets us like more eyeballs and people,
it's a YouTube competitor. No questions asked. Full stop.
Bro, I'd rather be on all of them than not being on any of them.
Video, like for example, not the Mastodon. What's this other competitor that we were talking about? Oracle? No, the one that you can sideload multi-upload like on YouTube, the gallery and all those things.
I know. Odyssey.
It's been getting like a hit in the sense of their commentary section. It's been like if you're trying to get promoted and all those things, it's they watch a lot of their they filter you out. And depending wherever you upload, aka Twitter's a good one. That like on general has a good track history, but also bad. But nothing compared to Oracle or Mastodon or those other competitors. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, but those main for uploading content or your specific content is the main way to become in the sense of your own business, upload your own business, if you will.
Right. So those are the two I was thinking about, bro. I mean, you can look or study up on them a little bit more. And I guess you can give me feedback for the next recording.
Yeah. Tap feature ready post. There's no restriction. Below the tweet, tap camera icon. Yeah. Okay, post. That's the tweet video from the web. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any closed caption. Nope. Live. Oh, live. That's something else going live. That's a whole different beast. But yeah, it looks like there's no restrictions. Push notification.
Yeah, so I would say that both Google YouTube and Twitter would probably benefit if they're able to reach out to companies like a Toei, like a Kyoto, and on their profile have like a landing page with a catalog and a pay-to-play type of thing where you pay for a subscription or you pay a micro subscription or nano subscription or however you want to look at, or if it's like a all-encompassing anime subscription and you can watch it with exclusive a day after the release in theaters movie type of thing going on
everywhere. Yeah,
And bro, all I'm saying, bro, that like they can do it.
They're not checkmarked and is this even the right Kyoto Animation? I don't think so,
bro. Toei Anime or
I think this one is not.
Or Madhouse, or I don't know.
Bones, Gonzo, well, rest in peace.
Whoever, bro, whoever.
Toei. But yeah, that's the
JC staff.
See, now these guys are here. Yeah. But yeah, the media.
Wait, I'm telling you, bro. They already have a page, a splash page at that. Why don't they just put their whole catalog and monetize off of it in some way? Like talk to Elon
or something.
Yeah, Elon, talk to Elon.
We're telling you right now, Elon, go to look just in your own Explore website on Twitter, type your favorite anime studios, and tap the DM them. I think they'll respond.
I'm pretty sure they will.
I feel like if Elon slides into any of these companies, like I have a business proposition, and he puts that gif of the guy petting his cat that you cannot refuse or something like that,
I think that they'd be willing to entertain the idea about that, right?
The anime companies?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, they should. I'm surprised Elon hasn't done that on the back end.
Definitely, bro.
But yeah, I get that. Oh, there we go. I reposted from Spotify, I guess.
Awesome.
See, look, it posts the Spotify, but I want the video since I've been improving my video game.
Okay.
So, but I like it. When I was working this thing, remember when
I really enjoyed that one. That one looked really nice.
I worked hard for it, man.
Dude, it looks great.
And then this one was like a little idea that I was having with. Does it show? It doesn't. Oh no, it does right there.
Yeah, it looks awesome, dude.
Using what is it? Bing AI thing.
Right.
I just prompted it properly and it gave me the thing that I wanted. Is it cheating though?
I don't think so.
In your opinion?
I mean, I think you're making something original.
That's the insight. I just have to find out how to prompt it. That's the thing. But yeah, I have the content in my computer. I can upload. I'm gonna try uploading the recent last two that I'm proud of showing, if anything. I'm gonna try it out. I'm excited. Okay. But I'm gonna see what else I hopefully when Neverhostway comes on, I'm gonna broach some ideas that I've been doing on the back end. It's not that I'm doing like coding or programming, but it involves me using a lot more.
I hear you.
The three chat boxes and all those things.
I see.
Is there any ethics about me trying to make stuff more efficient, or it feels like I'm cheating sometimes?
No, I mean,
is there something wrong?
I think if you're trying to do something and create a system in order for it to be easier for you to get the work done, that'd be awesome.
Now, if I was using it to tell somebody else to do it, and me like, come up with the content, full stop. I'm not doing that. I'm saying, I have this. How can
you're hiring an editor?
That's yeah. Okay, no, yeah. That okay. Again, I understand.
I mean, you can also try, like you were telling me the other day, you were trying your hand at prompting. Maybe that might help.
That's what I was doing. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Give you some ideas. Yeah.
I already have the idea. It's how can I give it the instructions to follow what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that'll. What do you think if we call it for tonight with the podcast like that?
Sounds good, bro.
Yeah. Well, dear listeners, thank you for joining us. My name is Marcos.
And my name is Alan.
And you have listened to LTS Out of Office. Till next time.
Peace.